This is your gameplay video of the Blood Hunter, a D&D 5e adventure for one DM and one player, designed for Matt Mercer's 2020 Blood Hunter class. Hi, Bob here, and welcome to Bob World Builder. This video is sponsored by the Blood Hunter one-on-one adventure by Anthony Choice. And as you're about to see, I had a ton of fun running this adventure for my fiancée Grace as a crossover with our Dragon of Icespire Peak campaign. So among the many exciting and humorous social encounters, you might notice some familiar characters, and you can expect to see Grace's Blood Hunter in our next Icespire Peak session. Before we dive in, thank you to everyone who liked the Blood Hunter DM Guide video and participated in the giveaway. 3 lucky winners will be announced at the end of this video, and if you didn't win a copy, I highly recommend checking out the Blood Hunter on the Dungeon Masters Guild. Right now, it's only $4.95, and there's a full preview, so you can literally see the whole document before you check out, and using the affiliate link down in the description is an easy way for you to help me make better videos. The Blood Hunter does a fantastic job of balancing drama and comedy, and it's perfect for playing D&D at home with family or easily online with a friend. Enjoy. Alright, so who will you be playing for this quest?
I'll be playing as Amalia, a Shadar Kai Blood Hunter.
Whoa.
She has pale gray, ashen skin, raven black hair, and black eyes also. She wears a dark cloak and is generally edgy.
As she should be. Because she is a blood hunter, feared by even the most vile monstrosities throughout Faerun. Commoners shut their windows and lock their doors as you approach, and small children cry at the sight of your unnatural demeanor. Such is the burden of life as a blood hunter. Yesterday, you accepted a 100 gold pieces contract from Harbin Wester, the town master of Vandals. And the contract is simple. Hunt down the were-rat that slaughtered 2 teenagers during the last full moon and return to Vandals with the were-rat's head. Over the past day, you've tracked down the were-rat and now stand where its tracks end, in front of a small rustic cottage as the sun begins to set. The sky turns blood red and a full moon slowly takes its place in the heavens. Time is of the essence. Before you is this L-shaped cottage with a front and back door, but no windows. Next to the cottage is a small farming plot. The front door to the cottage is ajar, and smoke from a wood-burning stove emanates from the opening, carrying the delicious smell of fresh stew.
Who uses a jar as their door? Okay. I would like to... How am I supposed to peep edgily through the windows? Yeah, peep through the door then.
Perception check.
3.
So inside, with your little eye, you can tell this is a single room. There seems to be a couple desks with a bunch of stuff on them, but you can't tell what it is.
I'll creep inside.
Inside.
9.
As you slither your way into the narrow crack of this open door, it does creak. An old-looking woman turns around from the stove where she looks like she was preparing that stew you smelled. You startled me. Hello. Would you like to come in and eat, traveler?
I think you know why I'm here. I edgily pull down my hood.
No, who are you?
I shut the door behind me.
What's the meaning of this? I'll call the town master if there's any trouble.
The town master sent me here, were-rat.
Okay. So on one of the desks you see old-looking books, and on another desk a set of manacles as well as a sword. But the woman looks to you, fear all over her face. I didn't mean it. I'm coming up with a cure. Don't hurt me.
Insight check. 13.
She believes she's finding a cure.
What have you got so far?
She runs over to the one desk, pulls out a little vial. This, I don't think it's ready quite yet. It might take a few more weeks, maybe months. I didn't want to hurt them. I lost control.
Well, it seems to me like you don't have months if you're losing control like this.
You see a few whiskers start to sprout from her face.
I draw my weapon.
Roll initiative.
Yeah, when I played Witcher, I spared every monster that I possibly could, so I got 10.
You know outside this full moon must be in full effect. Hair starts to sprout all over her body, a short gray layer. Her nose protrudes out into a snout. Her ears enlarge, and she's going to leap at you with her claws and mouth. Only the claws strike you as she scrapes them against your armor with 6 piercing damage.
I activate my Crimson Right of the Storm.
Whoa.
So I pull out my rapier, flick it across my cheek to draw blood, which slowly seeps over the blade and begins to crackle with static electricity. And I attack!
Ah.
Yeah! 20, not natural.
Totally hits. You see the sparks streak around this were-rat's grossly enlarged form, and roll a quick perception check.
Natural 20.
Whoa! You notice that the manacles on that table, even though they're kind of like rusted, patinaed over, those are some silver manacles, baby.
Oh, heck yeah, I say edgily.
Okay, so that's what you notice this turn. She's gonna make another bite claw at you as she's pretty much just like wrapping her arms around you. But neither are able to hit you, able to duck under her gangly long arms as she swings them over your head.
I'm a slippery little shadow.
Yeah, what do you do? What do you do?
I grab the manacles off the desk, and I'm gonna try to wrestle her into them. 6.
Yeah, you're not able to get them all the way around as she's like kind of writhing, still trying to attack you. And she's gonna make another set of attacks. 2 hits this time.
Yeah, they both hit.
5 slashing and piercing damage from her bite and claws. Oh, and make a Constitution saving throw.
19.
You felt a strange pulse of heat as her teeth sunk into your flesh, but it slowly disperses.
Oh, I can use magic. Eldritch Blast.
Oh!
1.
Okay.
But she takes all of it.
Yeah, one staticky burst of eldritch force flies from you and hits her right in the center of the chest. Knocks her back a little bit. She's gonna swing with her claws. She misses. What a sloppy brawl.
I know, this
Just
is
getting shoved around this cabin.
Well, I'm gonna keep Eldritch Blasting her, I guess. 12
Whoa.
force damage.
Okay, another sizable blast. She's really ragged, breathing heavily. Gonna make a final double set of attacks on you, bite and claw. One of those is a natural 1. She slips, but still strikes down with her claws, dealing 5 slashing damage to you. What do? She's prone in front of you.
I'm gonna kill her. Gotta make that money. 8, because it's a crit. Stab my rapier down into her, electrocuting her to death.
Oh man, she writhes on the floor a little bit. You can smell some of the burning hair as her body like slowly, partially transforms back into her human form. She's just left there, a dead monstrosity in this destroyed cabin.
Feels great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I guess I'll take the short sword that was on the desk and get that head.
Okay, you get the head. We don't have to go into detail there. And you make it back to Vandalin. As you're heading down the street toward the home of Harbin Wester, you see a small crowd has gathered around a flamboyantly dressed young halfling, singing a tale of valiant adventurers fighting a notorious bugbear named Clarg. 4 muscular human men wearing tattered crimson cloaks interrupt the halfling's tale. Back so soon, Olos? Didn't you learn your lesson last time? Maybe a little scar on that pretty face will teach you. And the man brandishes a sword and starts rushing toward the halfling.
I go up to the people in the red cloaks. Leave him alone.
A number of people begin to boo, wretched blood hunter.
I'll hunt your blood next.
The ruffian is still kind of holding his sword, You see a little shake in his hand, as now the halfling has pulled out a rapier of his own.
I just whip my rapier out at his throat.
Oh.
It's still a little bloody.
A single spark of electricity. He backs off. Do your business and leave our town. Walks away. That halfling springs up, dusts himself off. Thank you so much. I admire what you blood hunter folk do. A great service all across the realm. May I join you on your next quest?
As long as you don't tell anyone to toss a coin to me.
Oh, never. I've never heard of such a silly thing. Lead the way.
I lead him to Harbin Wester's house.
A little note on the door says, to speak with me, Harbin Wester, the illustrious town master of Vandalin, simply knock on the door twice, then 3 times, then twice again. Make sure the last knock is the loudest. This way, I know you're not an orc, a gnoll, or worse yet, a troll. Signed, Harbin Wester.
Sigh edgily and do that.
A voice from inside saying, I am coming. The door creaks open. It's a single eye lit in the crack of the door. You're back. Have the head.
I hold it up.
Still dripping a little bit. He's like, oh, do with that as you please.
I toss it over my shoulder. Or maybe put it on my horse's saddle. My horse.
Your horse?
Named Boach.
Does that rhyme with the horse's name from The Witcher?
Yeah.
A bunch of gold coins, which you assume amount to 100, start sliding out from under the door.
Pick those up, I tell the halfling.
Ah, of course. What a silly man. Ha ha ha. Picks them up. He's like flicking them through the air, doing some cool tricks.
Stop juggling.
Right away. He stops faster than he started. Harbin's voice again from inside. Foolish me. I nearly forgot. A fellow came by asking about you. Said he'd be waiting for you at the Stonehill Inn's Fandelver suite. The lad must be rich. Anyway, he paid me well to pass along this message. So my end of the bargain is complete. Ha!
Did he give you a name?
No, seemed quite mysterious. To tell the truth, I haven't seen him around town before.
That is pretty mysterious. I
You hear him kind of walk away.
mysteriously pulled my hood up over my cloak so I can be more mysterious than the mysterious stranger.
Oh, so mysterious. By the way, my name is Olos. Olos Bigbottom. And is at this point that you notice, wow, he's a pretty thick boy.
I refuse to notice that, and I tell him, I'm Amalia.
What a lovely name. So many things I'm sure I can rhyme that with in song.
Please don't.
I'll just hum it to myself
No,
then.
let's just go to this inn.
He starts humming as he follows you to the Stonehill Inn.
I slide edgily and mysteriously into a corner booth. My feet padding noiselessly on the floor.
As you attempt that...
Shadows gather around me as I sit.
As you attempt that, your dark, just 2005 scene
I'm
form
wearing so much eyeliner.
straight out of Hot Topic. The lively inn turns deathly silent as the eyes of a dozen patrons fix their gaze upon you. Notice a rather tall, strong-looking woman with a big old sword on her back next to a more frail-looking individual with some kind of unicorn mask on.
Man, those people are weird.
Yeah, a couple lamos. As a patron stumbles into you, dropping their cup of ale. But in an instant, the inn is entirely still. Nothing moves. The falling cup of ale is gracefully suspended in the air.
What kind of time bullshit is this?
Ha, right on time. Exactly as planned. Follow me upstairs. You hear a deep, stern voice coming from directly behind you.
Okay, Dumbledore.
And as this tall, bald, goateed individual brushes past you, roll a...
Playing a total foes?
Oh, he is actually. No intelligence check necessary. Yes, you recognize this as none other than Mordenkainen, leader of the Circle of Eight, a legendary group of adventurers.
I stalk through the shadows noiselessly.
I'm impressed, he says, not turning around as you follow him upstairs. And he too, noiselessly, almost floats up them. Inside the Fandelver suite, erupts into a massive banquet hall full of graceful dancing servants. This room, much too large for the size of the inn itself. Exotic foods and drinks, immaculately adorned, a massive, apparently 200-foot oak dining table in the center of the hall.
This is a ridiculous presentation.
Yeah, he invites you to sit at one end of the table, and he sits at the opposite end. I did not notice this while reading.
I toss my long bangs out of my eyes.
Oh, and as you do that, the bangs wisping past your face, the table appears to magically shrink so that those dining appear no farther than 5 feet away from each other.
I feel slightly nauseous at the shift in my perspective, but I don't show it.
Nice.
Because I'm too cool and edgy.
You see him raise a single hair of his eyebrow as if noticing.
One single hair?
Yeah.
I marvel at how he manages that. Must be some wizard
A few more hairs lift as he notices you're marveling. I've come here seeking you out, Blood Hunter Amalia. As fate has it, you play a role in maintaining the balance on this plane of existence. I have seen the future an infinite number of times, and it is you who does this task. Unfortunately, you require the help of Olos. For that you have my sympathies. When you are ready, I shall teleport you both to the Swamp of Gilgar, near the legendary Mere of Dead Men, where you must confront a green hag named Mercy. Mercy has a drow infant capable of permanently upsetting the balance. You must recover the infant. You will know what to do with it. Fate has decided. I have 3 gifts for you. Potions of greater healing, a powerful magic weapon, and this ring of protection. So you take the ring, the 2 potions of greater healing, and a +1, really shiny looking rapier. Do you have any questions then before you go? No eyebrow hairs move.
We have a staring contest for 5 minutes.
Roll a constitution check.
22.
Holy crap.
Warden Kanan is a little bit in the face of my unwavering gaze.
He blinks.
You may teleport me now.
Oh, fantastic! Olo starts clapping and starting to spin this into a song immediately.
Put a
the
hand over his
unblinking.
You're ruining my aesthetic.
That's what he's there for. All right. There's a blinding white light. And before you know it, you stand in a humid, seemingly croaking and squelchy landscape, ridden with fog that makes it difficult to see. Before you, decomposing human corpse with a satchel around its torso, resting in a puddle of mud.
I check for wounds.
Yes, you see a number of long slashes, looks like made with a dull blade. Dun dun.
My companion begins to play the Law and Order theme song. I check the satchel. What's in there?
Inside the satchel, you find a journal. Flip open to a page that says, The Swamp of Gilgar. I have set out to explore the myths regarding this malicious hobgoblin warlord, Gilgar the Defiler, and his legions campaign through these swamps in search of the lost mine of Phandelver. Gilgar the Defiler stumbled upon a coven of hags. Gilgar massacred the hags. Scholars claim a magical fog then filled the swamp, and when the fog cleared, all the hobgoblins were found brutally slain. Gilgar was found dead with his entrails in a gross way. It is believed that Gilgar the Defiler and his legion are cursed to wander the swamp as twisted undead creatures for all eternity. Whatever the truth is, I shall find it.
No, you shalln't.
True. So you see a path straight ahead that seems to lead to a kind of boardwalky bridge. There's a path to your left that goes through a bunch of spooky trees, and a path to your right that is a similarly dark tunnel of trees.
Are there any hag tracks?
As you wonder that, about 60 feet away from you in the distance, the fogged form of a humanoid woman drifting through the mist to the right.
I'll go that way. Come along, Olos.
Down this dark tunnel of trees, a pink, vibrant light starts to flicker, and you hear a voice. Won't you come and play? It's been so long since I've had a friend.
I don't play. I only slay.
Oh! All right, make a perception check since you're looking around.
13.
About 20 feet out ahead of you, this pink, wispy light glows, and there's a fairly clear-looking path to it. Come play!
I'm extremely suspicious of that. I put my foot slowly forward and press it into the ground to see if it's actually like solid or if it's like quick mud.
Excellent. Slowly approach 5 feet. You're fine. 10 feet, you're fine. 15 feet. Your toes dip a few inches farther. You almost slip and you draw it back immediately.
Can I go around whatever this patch of stuff is?
It'll just be difficult terrain. As you start snaking through the trees, oh, you broke my game. And it just fades away.
I don't game.
Sobbing.
I only shame.
Dude. You continue for another 100 feet or so through this murky, murky swamp. In the center of the trail is a moaning male drow, dressed in slick black armor. The poor drow's eyes have been ripped from their sockets.
That's gross.
Olos is like, oh, that's disgusting. His left arm, completely torn off, and what looks like a bloody tongue and journal lie on the ground before him.
I don't like that. Are you a living creature?
Belly, he struggles to say.
I will cautiously approach. Olos, do you know how to put someone's tongue back on?
Nope.
You're useless.
Well, perhaps in this situation, but I don't see you reattaching any tongues. Though that would make quite a tale.
Ugh.
And you hear...
That makes me want to do it less.
You hear a voice. He tried to take what was not his to take. But I must protect it.
Was that your baby that the hag took?
He hands out a little slip of paper, which Olos quickly snatches and reads aloud. I'm curious to know why House Banray has sent me to the surface looking for an infant. Why bother with such a thing?
Did you write this note?
He shakes his head, yeah.
I want to try to medicine him. 12.
Okay, you're able to stop the bleeding, but with a missing arm and no eyes or tongue, he's struggling.
Just wait here. I'll try to return when my business here is complete. But in return, I'll demand payment. Witchers, I mean blood hunters, don't work for free.
Ahead on this trail, a loud snoring comes from a sleeping beast lying to the side of the path. It has a vaguely humanoid head, the body of a lion, and a broken dragon wing and a spiked tail.
I'm gonna try to sneak past it. Natural 1. I didn't think so.
This beast, which you recognize as a manticore, shakes awake, calls out in pain as it instinctively attempts to flap its broken wing. Get away from me! Just stays on the side of the path.
I'm just passing through.
And he just lurches a little back into the trees. He's clearly pretty worse for wear. Now, ahead of you on the path, you see a massive giant's skull, clearly repurposed into a quaint home, with a small mushroom garden and a fish pond out front.
Quaint homes are an affront to my edgy personality. So I'm gonna try to sneak up and try to go up to one of the eyes and look through. Natural 20.
You levitate over to the skull.
I float.
Just with a little fingertip are able to draw one of the curtains a little bit to see inside. You can tell this is a main floor, so the top of the skull is some kind of loft. But you see bones and meat littering a kitchen floor near a staircase leading down. In one corner of the room is a comfortable plush chair near a bookcase, upon which sits an elegantly dressed, beautiful-looking green-skinned woman with a pointy black hat. With one leg over the other, hands on her knees, just smiling toward the doorway.
That's extremely suspicious. Any babies around?
You hear a soft cooing of a bebe from the upper floor.
Then then I use minor illusion to make it sound like someone is knocking on the door.
She calls out toward it, closing her eyes and continuing to smile. Welcome. Come in, traveler.
I throw my voice, basically using minor illusion. I heard there's a hag living here.
Huh. I hope you aren't another hero looking to vanquish an evil hag.
Actually, I'm just here to save a baby.
Please, I would love to continue this conversation inside, but let me say, it seems that fate smiles upon us. I've been waiting for someone to help me escape this place and find a safe haven for myself and this special child.
Insight check. 15.
Nothing about that seems dishonest to you.
Okay. I'll climb down from the window and go back around to the door and open it.
Okay. If fate has brought you here as perhaps the true guardian of this innocent wee babe, they are yours to take. But you must help me by defeating what remains of Gilgar the Defiler.
Well, I guess that's kind of my thing. I toss my bangs. I put up my middle finger at some preps.
Olos is like, pops his collar. I am able to keep Gilgar trapped in the swamp, but I cannot defeat him alone. If you would help me, we will both be able to leave this place with the child and your friend.
We can leave my friend here, but...
Ha ha ha! Hilarious!
Alright, let's go fight this ghost goblinoid.
Wonderful. She levitates out of her chair.
Is she still, like, sitting, though?
Yes.
Hey, why are all those meat and bones all over your floor?
Sorry, I forgot to tidy up. I should have expected there were guests coming.
Well, a girl's gotta eat, I guess.
Where one trail ends at a pool of water, and a submerged structure nearly breaches the surface.
Oh, wait. Well, now I cast Protection from Evil and Good. They, fiends, and undead have disadvantage to hit me.
Whoa. The surface starts to bubble. The structure rises slowly from the water, and once the slight crack of a doorway reveals itself, a dark shadow flows out into the open air. Roll initiative. You go first, as you hear a deep, terrible laughter and recognize the undead, ugly hobgoblin form.
I draw my blade. And I do a little slicey slice on my arm as I draw it out. Activating my Crimson Right. And I attack. Pew pew. 12 and higher than 20.
Higher than 20 hits. 12 just misses on that first rapier swipe.
14 damage.
You leave one strong gash through this wispy form, coughs out a little black ichor onto the ground before you, and it lurches forward with a ghastly claw and freaking trips on his face. Natural one. As the hand comes towards you, more of that ichor erupts, seemingly quite involuntarily, stirring its movement and stopping it in place for a second.
I attack once again, but before I do, I extend my hand and make some arcane symbols with it.
For the audience, Grace just held up her middle finger.
And I use my blood maledict to place the curse of the marked on my enemy.
Olo shrieks, brave, brave, brave,
You're
Lady
ruining
Amalia.
it, Olos! Play some rock and roll or something. Play some Fall Out Boy.
Is this more than you bargained for, yeah?
Is it? Is it more than you bargained for? Alright, I attack twice with my rapier.
Whoa, 2 connecting strikes.
I need more dice. So my total damage for this turn is 30.
You leave 2 heavy gouges through the dark, oily, misty form of this wraith-like creature.
They spark with static electricity.
The sparks just scatter all over its body. It shrieks out in pain a little bit. It's gonna lurch at you again. Whoa. Yeah, 9 definitely doesn't hit.
I will do another 2 attacks. Natural 20.
All right, you're gonna finish it.
So I stab him with my rapier, and as I do, an arc of lightning shoots down from the sky and blows him up.
Olos frickin' drops to his knees. We're not worthy, Wayne's Worlds you. As that oily form just explodes, gets on your face a little bit, slick it in your hair.
I just smudge it like on my eyes like eyeshadow.
Nice. The fog of the swamp lifts. Right next to you, Mercy's form comes to being carrying a drow infant, and she gently leans forward to pass him off.
Thank you. I will take him and train him in the ways of the honored ravens, my enclave of blood hunters, and raise him as my own.
So be it. I should have thought of good Olos lines before this, but baby, baby, baby. Anyway.
Kick Olos in his jiggly butt.
And you both bounce off back to Phandalin. Well done. All right, congratulations to our 3 lucky winners, George Cook, Tall Guy Alec, and pun intended 17. And you can check out the Blood Hunter on the DM's Guild through the affiliate link below. Thank you for all your support. I'm really excited about how much this community is growing, and I'm planning to launch a Patreon page in early May. Also, there will be a Star Wars themed supplement, which I wrote a little piece of, coming to the DM's Guild on May 4th, which also happens to be my birthday. More details to come on both of those things. For now, thank you for watching, and keep building.